some of the cases that journalists are facing already. So that's why I would appreciate your engagement. Please feel free to interrupt, ask questions, raise your hand. If I'm talking about things that are already known, then or there are other specific areas that would be beneficial to you, please let me know. So over the next sort of 30 minutes or so, we'll be talking about the legal landscape, in particular around the freedom of legal provisions around freedom of the press, defamation laws, and national security legislation, or the criminal law as it applies to journalists. I think each one of those could almost be a lecture on its own or a semester at law school. So we'll have to I'll have to fly at a fairly high level, and then if we can dig into other aspects if there are specific areas that would be beneficial. So firstly, we need to start any discussion around the law. Needs to start with our founding document as a nation, being the Constitution. How many of us here actually own their own copy of the Constitution? Okay, a decent number of us. It's available for free online. I would really, or you can get it, I think, from government printers. That's an important document or handbook for any journalist to have, especially if you are reporting on government affairs, etc. That is the founding document of a nation. It gives you rights, but it also guides how government procedures, etc., ought to be done. How many of us, or who knows which is the section of the Constitution? This is not a trick question, and it's okay if you don't know. But who knows what is the section of the Constitution that deals with freedom of the media? Does anyone know offhand? Yes, go ahead.
61 is freedom of expression, and 62 access to information.
Absolutely. Okay, fantastic. So, are we all on the same page with that? Those section 61 and 62, you should know inside out. So I think we don't need to dwell on them too much then, so long as we are on the same page with those. What was being talked of in the previous section around the importance of protecting the confidentiality of a journalist's sources arises there in section 61, subsection 2 of the Constitution, which states that every person is entitled to freedom of the media, which freedom includes protection of the confidentiality of journalists' sources of information. Now, yes, sometimes that does come at a cost, upholding that duty, but it is also a right which is enshrined there, which you can rely on. That right, I think, was important in one of the Hopewell Chingono cases, the matter in which he was accused of obstruction of justice for reporting that Henrietta Rushwaya would be granted bail by consent, and the state was demanding that he disclose the source of that information. He refused to do so and was subsequently prosecuted. Ultimately, he was acquitted in that case, and I think we saw, was it just this week or last week, Rushwaya was ultimately convicted of the very crimes that she was accused of. But that fundamental right is enshrined there in the Constitution and can be used as a shield for journalists against those types of